Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Billy. Today I would like to share with you two shirt dresses with the bodice that is modified from my monster shirt by the French pattern company Dress Your Body that I talked about in my video number 48, paired with a most beloved quarter circle skirt from New Look 6843. And so today's video is a continuation of my video number 49, where I shared with you my first attempt of this combination of bodice and skirt. And also concurrent with today's video, I will also be posting separate videos on the pattern modification and also a few construction details in the construction of these garments for ease of reference, so then they're not buried in a long video. So the first dress that I will share with you today is this dress here, made from 2 yards of about 57-inch cotton voile by Tilio that I purchased on fabric.com. And so here is a close-up of the print of the fabric itself. Being cotton voile is incredibly soft, so I really like it. Unfortunately, the print is in a way too busy, so some of the construction details are somewhat buried, are just not very visible because of the busy print of the fabric. And it was kind of interesting. I didn't realize it at the time I purchased this fabric. But as you can see here in this picture side by side, this Tilio print is incredibly similar to a print by Liberty's Tana Long. And so the right side of your screen is Liberty's Tana Long, and the left side of your screen is this Tilio. And I'm no copyright lawyer, but I just saw that it was somewhat curious that the designs are so similar to each other. So after I posted my video number 49 on the floral, the pink floral dress, I realized that that dress just ran big everywhere. And so I went back to the pattern pieces to figure out why. And it turned out that when I was patterning out the bodice and the skirt, I totally forgot about the additional width at the center front from the button placket, because there's a separate button placket here. And that's why the dress was just too big overall. So for this version, my assignment was to figure out how to reduce the center front of the bodice without changing the neckline or the shoulder, because the neckline and the shoulder of the pink floral dress was perfect. It was perfectly comfortable, so I had to figure out how to do it. And I am very happy to report that it is a very simple modification to the pattern, and I am posting that modification process in a separate video number 51A, as in Apple. So please check it out if that is something that may interest you. But basically it's just to pivot it, so then extend out the shoulder seams and then pivot back into the armhole so it will connect with the rest of the bodice. And to test out my modification, I made this dress, and then because I wanted to, because it's still testing phase, I opted for the plain front version, and then I got this plain front version by overlapping the front bodice with the front yoke at the sewing line that I talked briefly in my video 49. And so that, so that's how I got this plain front bodice. And for this version, I wanted to try something a little different. So I used the shirt collar and the collar stand that comes with my monster shirt, but instead of the pointed collar of a standard shirt collar, I decided to do a Peter Pan collar. So basically I just rounded out the pointed part. So instead of points, I just kind of rounded out to turn the collar into a Peter Pan collar. And to further add the sort of cutesiness factor, I decided to add some ruffles around the outer perimeter of the collar. And so here is, unfortunately, this print is so busy, it's kind of hard to tell. But you can see this is the Peter Pan collar, and then this is the round ruffle all around, also like this. And I also did the same thing with the so this dress has a full-length sleeves, and then with a full-size cuff, and then also at the end I added the same ruffle pieces. And so because this one has a collar stand, so in a way it does limit how large the collar can be, because it goes up and then comes back down. And so if it's too large, it will bend at the shoulder, where the shoulder sort of starts. And so it limits how big I could go. So for those very oversized collars, they do not have a collar stand. But in a way, I'm kind of a fan of the collar stand, because I do like the collar to sit up a little higher. And so that's what I did. So to prevent the oversized issue of the collar piece, I reduced this, the Peter Pan collar portion by about 1 centimeter. And then, so then it would be, so I think overall it still sits very well, it doesn't bend out. So overall, I'm very happy about how this collar turned out. I mentioned earlier that I made this dress from 2 yards of about 57-inch fabric, and I do want to clarify, I was able to make that happen because of the pocket pieces. There are 4 pocket pieces, and all of them are patched up from smaller scraps before I cut out the pattern piece. And also for the belt, I actually had to, this cotton voile is not enough for the entire belt. So only the exterior portion is this print. The interior, it's only a little bit is this print. The rest of it is a cotton muslin that I have lying around. And so this is how, how it works, but it's fine because then you can't tell anyway. So overall, I am really happy that I was able to really make full use of the fabric that I have. For this one, I lined this dress with about 2.5 yards of rayon lawn, black rayon lawn that I purchased from fabric.com. And the construction is exactly the same as the pink floral dress, where I talked more in depth in video number 49. And also for the same thing, this one also has the lapped collar, so it looks like this. And I am posting also a separate video on how to sew the slit here and also the cuffs in the separate video that I'm posting today. And I wanted to try a full-length sleeve for this version, so I'm very happy that this works out really well. And also I really love the contrast of somewhat, a little puff, but a very fitted wrist for the cuff. But the issue here is, while the cuff itself is not tight, I don't think there is room for a watch. So I will not be wearing a watch with this dress, but that is fine. But overall, I am really happy how this one turned out. It's very cute, sort of a bit cutesy, but still professional looking enough for work. So here is a video of this Tilio blue sort of berry print dress, and I paired it with my standard 3.5-inch pointed heels. And overall, I am really happy how this turned out. It it's exactly what I had hoped it would be, and so I'm very happy when the final result pans out. The second dress that I will share with you today is this one here, made from 2 yards of about 57-inch cotton poplin that I purchased from moonfabrics.com, and this is a Moon's proprietary line made in Spain. And so here's a close-up look of this print. I just really love this very vibrant sort of emerald green print. And originally I made it for St. Patrick's Day, but of course, I'm filming this well past St. Patrick's Day, even though I did finish up this dress before. In a way, even though obviously I'm not Irish, but I do have very fond memories of St. Patrick's Day. Because in my first job, the head of the tax department is of Irish descent. And so for St. Patrick's Day every year, the entire tax department would all dress up, with something in green in our attire to commemorate that. And I had such fond memories of that. So I thought I would make a green dress for St. Patrick's Day. And so for this version, it's very similar to earlier version. So it's still also sort of the Peter Pan collar, but this one has no ruffles. And also this one has the plain cuff. And for this version, I widened give it a little more puff ever so slightly. But I think this is the maximum amount of puff that I would want for this shirt dress. So here's what it looks like, the sleeves. And so for this one, it's actually a mistake. What happened was I was very happy with the fit of the earlier dress, so I was just going to replicate the bodice. However, I traced off the wrong line when I was cutting out this bodice, and I did not even know it. And so only after I finished the entire construction, and I realized I couldn't button it up all the way, because for example, if I button it up, you will see a bit of a drag line here. So the only way is to kind of let this shirt collar open, and so that gives me a little more room up here. And because I cut off the wrong line, so the neckline is too small, and also the shoulder is a little too narrow. Basically, it's this, I cut it out as if I just cut out the pink floral dress version, by 3/4 of an inch directly, from the neck opening all the way to the bottom. So that was obviously a mistake. But it is, whatever happened. And so in a way, it didn't quite sit perfectly flat because it's supposed to go up this way. But it's okay, because thanks to the relatively busy print of this fabric, it's not too noticeable. And also, if you have a bright smile on your face, nobody would notice that the top of the shirt doesn't sit perfectly flat. I lined this green floral dress with 2 yards of rayon challis that I purchased from fabric.com. And so here's a quick look of the lining. And so far I have used rayon lawn or rayon challis to line the 3 shirt dresses, and because they are all from different manufacturers, they behave quite differently. So for example, the pink floral dress, the white rayon lawn that I used to line that dress, the bodice stretched by about 1 inch, before, after I sewed it up, but before I connected the lining to the exterior fabric. So then I also needed to shorten the bodice by that amount. And so for the second version, the blue dress, when I connected the bodice and the skirt, I connected using the longest length of my sewing machine, which is 5 millimeters. And then so I just let it hang for, I think, 2 days. And then I tested again with the exterior fabric. And for that for the black lining, the bodice stretched by about 1/2 inch. And for this version, the green rayon challis that I used did not stretch at all. And so it's just kind of interesting how they all behave differently. And so what I would do, now is just simply to connect the bodice and the skirt, with a longest basting stitch and just let it hang for a couple of days. And after the fabric has settled, then I would test it against the exterior fabric and I would just make adjustments as needed. So here is a quick video of this green floral dress. And as always, I pair this dress with a pair of 3.5-inch black heels. And overall, I'm really happy about this dress how this dress turned out, even though it could have been disastrous because of the mistake that I made using the wrong pattern piece. But overall, it turned out great. I'm really happy. And I love this very vibrant green. It's very summery, but still looks professional. So I am very happy about how this dress turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So please do stay safe and be well. And I hope I will see you soon. Bye-bye.